Welcome to UND Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. On tonight's show, women's basketball coach Travis Brewster, men's basketball coach Brian Jones, and women's hockey coach Brian Idalski. The UND women's hockey team is streaking in third place in the league and has pretty much wrapped up home ice for the opening round of the WCHA playoffs. The women's basketball team, meantime, coming off 2 losses at Montana and Montana State. Let's look back at what happened last week in Missoula and Bozeman. In Missoula last Thursday, North Dakota entered its game with Montana, 1 game behind the first-place Grizzlies, who got the early jump, leading by 11 in the opening 6 minutes. But UND answered back with an 8-0 run fueled by Emily Evers, and UND was within 1 in the closing minutes of the half. Montana got 8 quick points back with bookend threes, including this one from Kelly Rubel. UND trailed 31-23 at the half. Montana opened the second half on an 11-0 run, building a 19-point lead that UND could never recover from. Emily Evers led UND with 16, but Montana prevails 66-51. UND looking to bounce back after a Thursday loss at Montana, but in a tough environment, winless in 4 prior trips to Bozeman. And UND suffered an 8-minute scoring drought in the first half. Montana State turned that into a 14-2 run. Lindsey Stockton to the hoop for 2. Emily Evers led UND with 17 points and 8 rebounds, but UND was just 6 of 21 in the first half. And leading scorer and rebounder Maya Lloyd was plagued with foul trouble, picking up her 3rd with a little more than 6 minutes to play in the half. UND trailed 29-23 at the break. Montana State opened the second half on an 11-2 run. Callie Durham with 3. And Jasmine Hamas, the Big Sky's 3rd leading scorer, had a big day, 25 points, leading the Bobcats to an 82-60 win. Overall view of this weekend, Brew, as you went into the game on Montana on Thursday night with a chance to move into a tie for first place.
Yeah, that's a tough game to go out there and play and to come up short in. It was a game of runs. They went on them. We didn't stop them. We didn't get on a run of our own. Then you turn around and get help from Northern Colorado on Saturday. They go in there and they beat them, and that's unfortunate for us. But, that's why we talk about the Big Sky as a tough conference. You have to play night in and night out and be mentally tough, be mentally prepared to play.
Let's talk about what seem to be a couple of common denominators over the course of the weekend. One is the runs that teams are able to get on you, whether it was Montana or Montana State, at either the beginning of the game or the beginning of the second half. How big were they over the weekend?
Well, you can't – on the road it's tough. You can't just give that up. You really have to buckle down when you come out to start a game or start a half. And with Montana, that 11-0 run to start the second half, that was huge. I thought Montana State, we turned around and gave up a run again.
Second common denominator that seems to be on the table after the 2 games in Montana is guard play.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's supposed. I've said it all year long. For us, we're going to go as they go. Mm-hmm. We kind of know what we're going to get out of our post. There's no question about that. Granted, Maya didn't have the best game, but she's, we know what type of effort's going to be there. And I like our guards. I think we do a great job when we're really getting after and being aggressive and assertive. It's just one of those things we have to be more consistent about it.
So just 2 games separate you and Montana, yet in the loss column with a fair amount of league games remaining.
Well, yeah, and if you look at last year at this time, the conference reshuffled, constantly here until the very last game of the season. So I think it's that type of scenario right now. Obviously, we need some help from some other teams, but we have to take care of ourselves first. So that way, if they do provide that help, we're ready to go.
Yeah. All right, Portland State Thursday night, Sacramento State
Absolutely.
Saturday afternoon. We'll have each game for you live here on Midco Sports Network, and we'll recap the week ahead coming up next week here on the show. Yet to come here on UND Sports Extra, men's basketball coach Brian Jones. His team had 2 home games this past weekend against the Montana schools, and also some women's hockey with a North Dakota team that looks to be home now in the first round of the playoffs.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Forward Maya Lloyd is a serious candidate to be North Dakota's 2nd Big Sky Player of the Year. She also has a unique, lifelong relationship with Coach Brewster. Greg Ankers explains.
She's taken the Big Sky by storm. After finishing strong last year and earning the tournament's Most Valuable Player award, Maya Lloyd is taking her game to new heights this season. She's been named the Big Sky Player of the Week 4 times, and her 14 double-doubles this season are 5 more than the second-place player in the league.
If I sit there and, you know what I mean, come in every game and sit there and play and out-rebound teams and stuff like that, I can do it. And so I think that the motivations for my teammates and for my coaches have really got me going.
You have to guard her in every sense of the game. She can shoot a bit, she'll drive on you, she can post up, so you really have to just play her honest. You can't cheat off of her, and she just works so dang hard, and it's just fun to watch, and I'm glad she's on my team and not on a different team.
Despite standing at just 5'11", Lloyd has a knack for getting rebounds. She leads the conference at just under 10 per game. Her skill in that department comes from a couple different areas.
I think I have very good rebound awareness, I guess you can say. I feel like if I know where a shot is up, I kind of have a good guess of where it's going to come off of. He was athletic, you know. He was a good rebounder also, but I think that my dad, my former coaches, and then Coach Brew now have kind of formed and shaped the kind of rebounder that I am today.
Lloyd's father played college ball at Southern Utah. He also played a major role in how Maya ended up playing for the University of North Dakota.
Her father and I played together over in Europe. We both went to the same Nike camp, trying to get picked up to play a professional team. And we made a pact in the old bunker back in the day of where they housed all the guys trying to get jobs, that if one made it and the other one didn't, the other one could stay. He got picked up first, but he neglected to tell me that his wife and kids were coming over, which is no big deal, you know, staying with the guy, but I guess I didn't know that I was going to be the babysitter.
It's kind of fun, like joking around, like that family little connection and stuff like that, but yeah, he's changed my diapers, so I'm not gonna lie, he's done it.
The lifelong connection provides a unique coach-player relationship for Lloyd and Coach Brewster.
He always knows my facial expressions, like when I'm upset or when I'm not and stuff like that, and sometimes I'm like, well, no, I'm not upset, but then he's like, no, you are, and I'm like, dang it, I am. So, I mean, kind of has a little advantage, I'd say.
I think it's helped our communication, obviously. I think it's helped her develop as a player. I think it's more importantly, it's helped her as a person. You know, there's that accountability factor that goes along with that that a lot of people don't understand.
The combination works for them and for the team, something that will be key as UND takes aim at another Big Sky championship later next month.
And during their time together in Switzerland, Lloyd and Brewster would regularly watch cartoons on television, in French, that is. We're back with men's basketball coach Brian Jones next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Welcome back. The men's basketball team played 2 tight games against the Montana schools last week, Montana and Montana State. The Montana schools winning each game. Head coach Brian Jones is back. Coach, good to be back with you again. My goodness, what are we counting now? Up to number of games decided basically with one possession late in the game. It is how many games this year?
5 games in conference for sure by one possession. And as we all know, that's what separates a great season from a tough season, which we're going through right now is a couple possessions a game.
Any common things as you look at those as a whole?
A couple common things. We got to be able to get a stop against a really good individual one-on-one player. And then offensively, I think we've done a nice job, but I think we can tighten up some execution. We're getting good looks, but I just think the timing and spacing of some of our actions that we're running can get a little bit better. But really, it's just, I think it's confidence. I think we got a young team, and understanding we need a big stop or we need somebody to go get us a basket. I think we got guys that are just so young in what they're trying to do that we've looked at different guys. We're trying to get different guys looking. Nobody's really stepped up. And it's not that they don't want to. I just think it's still gaining maturity and confidence and being able to do that.
Let's take a look at some highlights. Hosting Montana last Thursday night at the Betty. And, of course, when you're playing Montana, one of the challenges this year is Martin Broinig. Is he the newcomer of the year in the league?
I think so. Because what he brings to the table on the offense and rebounding end of the ball. But he's a load inside, as you're seeing here early in the game. He gets, I think, 3 quick buckets on us.
Yeah, he had 3 quick early touches, 8 early points. And then you shut him down. He got in some foul trouble, and you got some things going here. Again, moving the basketball well.
That was, I thought in this game we really did a great job. Our guys did a good job of really, as far as the offense end, the game plan. As you're seeing, we're getting our feet to the paint. That's where we're our best. We're sharing the ball, making the extra one.
Points off turnovers, though. A big story in this game.
It was. It was. Yeah, it was. I mean, our half-court defense was really good, and that's been an Achilles heel of ours. When our ball-handling guards like that are throwing it right to them, how do you get your defense set? So we have to be tighter with our decision-making.
25 points off turnovers for Montana. Lenny Antwi gives you a little burst here late in the first half, and you get this within 1 point.
Yeah, he was. I thought he was really solid all day. He made some open shots for us, and but that's again an extra pass, a great find by Lenny.
Then Antwi was going to hit a 3, and this is a 33-32 game at the half. Very tight half. Second half opens, Montana builds a 9-point lead, but then you rally back here in the second half to make this a game pretty much tight the rest of the way.
Our guys did a great job. We did it off our defense, and then we started making some open shots. I thought there was some open shots we missed through the course of the game that were wide open. We got to be able to make those, but Eston makes a big shot. But, again, I give our guys a lot of credit. Great find. I think lob right there again. Jerron, not a lot of guys because of his athleticism. He got a lot of those last year. This year he hasn't got as many, but that's when he's really good, when he's slashing, when he's diving to the rim.
That was Broinig's 4th foul. I thought this was a key bucket here because you'd played so well in the half-court defense, and then right at the end of the shot clock, Gregory hits the floater. That's
why he's a senior. That's why he's an all-league performer. He's really good. He's hard to guard, and he makes a big play for them.
You hit a couple key threes, though, to stay within striking distance. One of them here by Hooker with 2:15 left, and another one by Tyler with about 1:18 left.
Again, our guys, when they needed to make a big shot, not necessarily in the final possession, but leading up to it, they did. Now, what happened within that, you don't know. Quentin had rolled his ankle on that was a big play for us.
Yes, it was. All right, after a Montana turnover, 8 seconds left. Walk us through this. Do you think there should have been a foul called?
I think it's a bang-bang play. It's tough. I think there's body there. They called that consistently all game. But probably what should have happened, he probably could have dropped it off to Jerron for a layup. So we got to grow through those. We wanted Eston to get to the rim and get fouled because he is really good. One, he makes foul shots. Two, he finishes in there. So for the most part, I think he executed. But there's times when somebody steps up to you and takes that drive away. You got to be able to see the open player.
65-61 is the final then against Montana. Fast forward to Montana State Saturday afternoon, and you're going to go to work here in the first half. Quentin Hooker.
Well, my feet weren't going to work.
Yeah, your feet. You were barefoot this day.
Hey,
again, weren't you?
The court was actually warm.
It was.
It was. Great play by out-of-bounds steal there by Q, but we got a little out-of-bounds. We press underneath, and he did it. His first dunk of is probably his life, so that was good.
Michael Dyson, pretty good player, isn't he?
He is. He is a senior, can really score. Him and Colbert are really shifty guards. That's the thing I've always said about this league, as you're seeing. We got really good guards, and that's what was hard for our team all day. That's a center right there doing that, playing out on the floor, shooting threes. I knew that was going to be an issue, and Norman, a transfer from SMU, a senior, really made us pay all day.
Terrell Deruin, one of your players that sparked you on a 16-7 run, though, to end the first half.
I thought he was really sharp all day. I think he did a good job of distributing the ball, but also being aggressive on the offensive end.
Mm-hmm. So MSU is up by 6 here, and then it's a 3-point lead at the half for Montana State. Second half, what did you think of your opening minutes of the second half here?
Well, I thought they came out defensive, as you're seeing right there. We got some easy plays. That's not who we are. We reached right there. That caused a rotation. But again, we dug ourselves back into the game.
Yeah, thanks to some good plays off the bench.
I thought Bryce Cashman was outstanding for being a freshman. He's coming along. He's still getting used to his college body.
Mm-hmm. Then Lenny Antwi is going to drive for 2, and you're up by 2 at this point. You get it up to 4 at one point here.
We do, and then we missed 2 big foul shots. We could have been up 6, and we were really playing well. Good shot here, good extra pass there by Jerron had a huge second half, but Eston he had a good weekend all weekend.
Heck of a rally here late. You're down by 9 with a minute 55 to play, and you're going to rally back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about our guys. They got great resiliency, great second effort, big shot there by Terrell. But we start pressing a little bit, 11-2 run. We tie the game, and to force the situation, we get stops, and that's a transition play. He makes a good play at the rim.
How about this play coming up by Quentin Hooker?
Big play. I mean, it was a steal and just the awareness to make the extra pass and the layup. And now all we need is a stop. Yeah. We need one stop. And again, Colbert, who's a 3-year starter, just a good play. Right there, to me, that's a double dribble. It's off his hip, and he steps out of bounds right there. But hey, we can't take that back. That is the final play, and then he makes a big shot. And it just, with this year, it's been tough because we've seen that time and time again. Our guys are playing hard, and they're competing. That's what I'm proud of them. Our fans were great. Our guys continue to play hard, but we're just coming up short.
And those things you can't control become more frustrating.
They do.
When you see a bunch of them going on and you're not turning those games into wins.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we guys got to continue to stay the course and keep working against them back.
You're headed to Portland State, Sac State. Good luck on the road this weekend. We'll recap those games next week here on the show. We're back with more here on UND Sports Extra.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
The women's hockey team is entering the final weekend of the regular season. North Dakota will close out at Minnesota State this weekend, and UND continues to be rolling in the WCHA, fresh off a sweep of St. Cloud State. In the series opener, Megan Defoe, Becca Kohler, Josephine Jakobsen, and Amy Mankey, the big four going these days for North Dakota to score goals, and Shelby Amsley-Benzie, another shutout. North Dakota won it 4-0. Then, back-to-back shutouts again this season for Benzie to close out the series, 2-0 in the series finale. Jakobsen extending her goal-scoring streak. Amy Mankey also scoring. So North Dakota now in third place in the WCHA, a 5-point edge over fourth place Minnesota Duluth heading into the final weekend of the regular season. We're joined by head coach Brian Idalski. You control your own destiny to lock down third place. That's got to be a good feeling.
Oh, absolutely, especially where we are, in November and December to put ourselves in that spot. It's a great feeling.
Yeah. Shelby Amsley-Benzie, I don't know the superlatives anymore, Brian, to describe the way she is playing, but she's just been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, no, she's been lights out, to put that many shutout minutes up in games back-to-back here in the last month and a half is extremely special.
How about these numbers? 147 minutes of shutout hockey, her current career best. Since January 16th, her goals against average .70, her save percentage at .974. That's almost perfect for crying out loud.
Well, I remember the days when we were in the 880s, so we were begging to get anything into 9.2 range. We figured we'd be doing really well to be around 9.7 save percentage. That's crazy. There haven't been numbers like that in years.
Yeah. I remember doing a game in late November when Josephine Jakobsen broke an 11-game scoreless streak. She's now riding one of the better streaks of her entire career. She's going well.
Oh, she's playing at a super high level, and that's exactly what we need. One of the things with JJ is trying to keep her fresh for the year, and I think we've done that. I think she's hitting her stride at the right time of season for playoffs.
Yeah, 6-game point streak, 9 points in her last 8 games. She's always been a good defensive forward. How is she elevated to play offensively these days?
Well, JJ blocks a lot of shots defensively, but her hockey sense and hockey IQ is absolutely terrific. She sees the ice probably as well as anybody on our team for sure, and she's just having fun and enjoying the moment and playing really well for us.
And not scoring as much these days, but I think, in your opinion, just as important to your team these days is what Megan Defoe is doing.
I think that's super undervalued, the transformation. She was always an offensive player that was very good in finishing plays, but when she embraced playing center for us and being a 200-foot player and playing in her D zone and just her compete level all over the ice, she's been lights out. I mean, that's a kid who's really elevated her stock for the Canadian national team, and I think is a candidate for the Olympics for them.
You've locked down home ice in the first round. You don't know who you will play yet, whether you're the 3 seed or the 4 seed, most likely 3. But Is your focus still right now on the bigger picture, knowing that you need to garner as many wins as possible as you look possibly to a national playoff picture?
Well, Dan, we've talked a lot about, respecting the streak. And what that means is understanding what got you to this point. And that's been the focus on being tough to play against, going hard to the nets, being tough in front of the nets, shooting the puck, and playing really well defensively. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to tinker with that. We're just going to pretend like, everything else, playoff picture is on the outside, stay in our bubble, and keep focusing on what's got us to this point.
And Minnesota State this weekend, what do you expect out of that series?
Well, it's going to be probably the most dangerous team we face all year, just because they can damage everything we've worked so hard in the last couple months to create. And so, again, just have to focus on playing hard, being gritty, going hard to the net, and not worry so much about what the opponent does or doesn't do, and just execute, because when we do that, we've been doing really well.
All right, Brian, good luck this weekend at Minnesota State. More home hockey on the horizon for your hockey team with the first round of the playoffs here. And then, if you would advance, the WCHA final face-off being hosted by the Ralph as well. Thanks for your time, Brian.
Appreciate it.
We're back with more next year on UND Sports Extra.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Big Sky women's basketball on tap for you Thursday and Saturday here on Midco Sports Network. Thursday, North Dakota hosts Portland State. That's at 7 o'clock. Then we're back with you Saturday afternoon at 2 for North Dakota against Sacramento State. That should be a highly entertaining basketball game. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for North Dakota Hockey with Dave Haxtell next here on Midco Sports Network.